Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It's markets in the morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer, bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is Thursday, May 25th, 2023. Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action of the markets as the stock market gets ready to open in 10 minutes from right now. So what we do here is we take a look at Bitcoin, we look at the altcoin market, we look at the stock market, we see what's going on as we get ready for things to get moving. It's been a busy overnight action with NVIDIA going nuts. We've seen Bitcoin do a little bit of breakdown. We actually caught that live on stream yesterday. Let's just go through it all, right? So, and then of course, what's going on over there with Brad Garlinghouse out there and saying that he believes that the lawsuit is going to wrap up in weeks, not months. So crazy, 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 crazy. All right. So let's take a look at everything that's going on. XRP still sitting right there at about 45 cents, even coming off of that statement by Brad that took place at an event that's going on right now. I've actually already recorded a video for that. So I'll have that released shortly after the live stream is done. Bitcoin, as we saw yesterday on the daily time frame, we caught that live on stream, getting through that 100-day moving average right in there. So just kind of working this out. We'll take a look at the volume profile in here. I didn't show that in the video that I recorded, but we'll take a look at that to show how we're just kind of working out that low volume area that dates back all the way over here. We just haven't done much trading in this area. So now we are finally working it out. So even when we were holding these prices right in here, well, we've traded at these prices before. It wasn't our first time. But we have filled out this area. Now we're starting to fill out this area in here. Still a bit lower in there. We'll see if we actually end up getting it in there. But, you know, still holding in here. XRP still holding in here. I address. So with the video that I record, Brad Garlinghouse makes a statement. And let's just do this. So XRP Newt over here on Twitter at XRP Newt posted breaking XRP community. Brad Garlinghouse expects a court case resolution in weeks, not months, following the recent court news regarding the Hinman emails. PS feels like the interviewer is an XRP holder. Let me play just a moment of this.
Now, in terms of where things stand today, I'll try to not get too much into the legal weeds. You are right that I feel very confident that we'll see a decision from the courts in this year. In fact, I think I would guess it'll be in weeks, not months.
So, okay. So he says that he thinks a court decision will come in weeks, not months. So in the video today, I go through and talk about whether or not I think the charts indicate that that could possibly happen. If you remember in March, you had everybody thinking that we were going to have a resolution happen there in March. My thoughts were either we're not having a resolution, or if we do, it's not going to be a good one because the charts weren't ready for it. So I go ahead and I analyze, do I think that the chart says we could have a resolution in weeks, not months, right? So, all right, I've already recorded it. That'll be released about 30 minutes to 45 minutes after this live stream comes to a conclusion. Big action over there in the stock market. I went ahead and added the retail favorite stock ticker in here. I don't own any, but I added NVIDIA. We're going to see that thing explode. If you guys know, I get asked about this one quite frequently. We were back at retracement levels. Then earlier this week, got through the actually, that was last week. We got through the retracement levels, and then we're going to see this thing open. Boom, gets the retracements. Bam, blasts out. Man, I don't think I've been thinking back to myself. Have I ever seen a situation in a stock to go straight down with 5 waves, losing nearly 70%, and then go straight back to all-time highs? This might be the first time I've ever seen it. But man, get through those retracement levels and you see what happens, man. That's why we talk about them so much. It sure can happen. And boy, wow. For anybody who's going to ask what's coming next for NVIDIA, I'm the wrong guy to guess. This thing is bizarro land. But this is pretty much your 2023 Tesla. This is the one that everybody has piled into. So good luck out there. What a wild one. That, of course, has sent the indexes or indices. Let's go back to the Dow, right? We can see the Dow is actually down 33 points. And we see that the S&P is up 33 points or 0.8%. And you see the NASDAQ is up 2.25%. An absolute monstrous move here in the NASDAQ overnight. That NVIDIA is going to be a large contributor to that actually happening in there. And, just to kind of touch points on it, I get asked all the time when I'm looking at Bitcoin and I'm comparing Bitcoin to the stock market, why am I always using the Dow Jones? Why am I not using the S&P? Why am I not using the NASDAQ? And well, we can see what's happening in here. You could see the NASDAQ up 2.25% overnight. That's a monster move for the NASDAQ. You could see it's breaking above resistances happening in here. We're not seeing that same correlation happening here in Bitcoin as we are seeing with the NASDAQ or with the S&P. It tends to follow that Dow Jones. And that is the reason why it's the one that I'm always looking at. And I see a lot of people always say, see, there's no correlation. And then they pull out the S&P 500. I'm like, well, it's because we're looking at the wrong one. That's not the one that it's typically following. It's typically the Dow. But there you go. You see a monster move happening over 300 points over here in the NASDAQ. And we're not seeing crypto follow along with that today. But we can see kind of a mixed day over here in crypto. Let's see. Altcoin market cap sitting at nearly flat, 0.03% to the upside. Bitcoin up 0.32%, which is $85 over here for Bitcoin. Yesterday, Bitcoin got through that 100-day moving average. Still just kind of sitting down in there, working out that volume profile. So let's go ahead and let's throw that volume profile on so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Indicators, profiles, fixed range volume profile. There we go. So this is the one we've been talking about over here. If we look back, we could see that we've had trading volume take place everywhere, except for this one zone right in here. There's just been no trading that has taken place in here. So let's head on over and see. That is the area that we're getting closer to, right? So this gap used to be much bigger. It used to actually be all the way up to here. But now we have been trading in this area for the past couple of weeks. So we spent like 14 days trading there, right? A cruel summer, right? Now there's just been a bunch of trading that has taken place in here. And you look back and you say, has there really been much trading in that zone dating back throughout history? To see, no, that's been like a no trade zone. So now that volume profile for that area has gotten a little bit more filled in. And so we still have this area down here, taking us down to, just shy of 25,000 to be able to close out that volume profile. But this used to be bigger and it has started to fill itself in a little bit more. So now we've kind of shifted down into the next area of the volume profile gap. And now we're working out some trading in there. So there's some Bitcoin trading back and forth. This is how you build a support. And, is what it is. And I'll fill you in a little bit of secret for those who tune in to this live stream. Is you've probably heard me describe it as Cruel Summer multiple times. That is a Taylor Swift song. You're welcome. Now you know. Okay, moving on. XRP, we're in, let's see. We got this on here too. So we're going to take the volume profile off. XRP, still the story is exactly the same. And again, I've already recorded an entire video on this addressing Brad's comments this morning that he believes the case conclusion summary judgment will be made within weeks, not months. And my thoughts on that, as you guys know, I was not in the camp for March. And if it was going to come in March, that it would be negative. Now that we're getting further along, what are my thoughts? Do I think Brad's statements have some validity to them? And maybe I do. Maybe I do. All right, so looking at the stock market, we're going to open here in 1 minute. Let's take a look at what's going on. We have the Dow Jones slightly down to flat. You have the S&P up almost 1%, and then you have the NASDAQ up significantly based on a big, giant breakout after getting through the retracement levels for NVIDIA with a earnings report came out last night saying that they're absolutely crushing it. So I know that'll make a lot of people happy. That is the number one retail asset out there. I believe that's the 2023 Tesla for you. So it's at least that's the one I get asked about the absolute most has been NVIDIA. So here we go. Markets are about to open if they haven't already just now. There we go. The NASDAQ is up 321 points right in here. Let's go ahead and clear ourselves out right here. So we have another yearly high set for the NASDAQ this morning as we open. It is trading back at April 21st of 2022 pricing right now. Comes off of the big explosion happening here from NVIDIA. We also have Google, Microsoft, and Tesla up. Down today, you've got Netflix, United Health, and Amazon. Coming off of the majority of this move is likely coming from that guy NVIDIA right there. I think when I read online, it was like over $200 billion added to the market cap in a matter of minutes last night, coming off of that earnings report. So as the market is now open, the Dow is slipping a little bit more, now down 85 points, 92, 93, 97, 98. You're going to cross 100. There you go. Down over 100 points now as the morning starts. You've got the S&P up 27 points, which is about 0.2%. And then NASDAQ up 279 points coming off of that big jump. And you can see NVIDIA is starting to pull back now as the market is starting to open. So we had a huge overnight move happen in the market, and things are kind of taming out now that the market has gotten itself opened. Gold took another step back right now and actually pulled back to its 702 Fibonacci retracement, in which we had resistance previously, broke out. Here we are back testing it. I'm an owner of gold. I do hedge my portfolio with gold. I am cheering down for gold. But this was a resistance. This is now being tested as support. So we'll see how that goes here for gold. As I've mentioned many times before and done significant analysis on, writing newsletters, creating YouTube videos on it, showing the correlation between gold and the broader indices, and then those relationships with the cryptocurrency market. If gold goes into a bull run, that's historically very bad for indices. They act inverse bull run of each other. Either one is in a bull run or the other one is. They don't go into bull runs together. So if you're in crypto, you're definitely cheering for gold to get rejected from here. And I know that's a mixed messaging based on what we do here in crypto. A lot of people like to correlate gold and Bitcoin together. There's definitely no correlation of these two assets. They are inverse of each other when it comes to bigger, broader trend moves. One moves and then the other one moves. They can range like this all they want, up and down together, but if one is going to break out and go bull YOLO, the other one doesn't. So cheering for gold to chill itself out. NASDAQ, now that the market has been open for a minute, we got Dow down 117, S&P up 23, and NASDAQ up 259. So chilling out. Looks like NVIDIA is still kind of holding itself there at 23%. That's the bulk mover of holding the NASDAQ up currently right now. As for news going on out there, so we could see, we don't even have to talk about the debt ceiling today, it looks like over here on CNBC. S&P 500 and NASDAQ futures jump after NVIDIA's blockbuster quarter, and then NVIDIA makes the headlines. So we are not getting debt ceiling fears today. Let's take a look over here. Okay, we are getting it over here on Bloomberg, though. U.S. credit rating at risk of Fitch cut on debt limit impasse. There's NVIDIA. U.S. jobless claims tick up while prior weeks revised lower. I did not see that. Hold on. Okay. Wait. Initial jobless claims. The forecast was 250. We ended up getting 229. That's the lowest reading. Oh, okay, because they've revised the previous one they revised the 242 down to 225, and we got a 229. I don't know if I'd say that's a tick upward. These are your last two. I would not say that's a tick upward. That's misleading. I would say unemployment still not reflecting any type of recession or any type of deteriorating conditions in employment happening just yet. Pending home sales index will come out today. That's a big thing. That's really what we got today. Okay, so that's your broader news. The broader news is NVIDIA's blockbuster quarter, which sends the NASDAQ up and the S&P up. Dow unaffected. Dow down 86 points to start the day. You can see mixed over here in the stock market. Yields, 1 month yield slightly down, but it looks like a 1 month yield must have had a big day yesterday. I didn't even catch that. Is that what happened yesterday? Yeah, 1 month yield ticked up a little bit higher yesterday. Now pulling back from that from yesterday, obviously. Most yields still up. Metals down. So that's kind of a big one today. You see that gold is pulled back, but this is a big question for gold right here because this is whether or not this is a support level. So big decision here on gold as it's back at its retracement level that was holding it down. Now trying to see if there's actual support happening in here for gold. As for Bitcoin, sitting at 26,350. Cruel summer underway underneath the 100-day moving average. XRP sitting over here still at 45 cents, just holding itself in here. So otherwise, as for big crypto news going on out there, it's the same stuff they always do. Why is Bitcoin price down today? Why is Ethereum price up today? Why is crypto market down today? Obviously, these are the things that get the clicks. People don't want to ever look at charts. They want to have the narrative fed to them. Why that one has 250,000 views compared to these two, I don't know. Let's see. I don't see anything too big. The one sending the shockwaves out there, Brad Garlinghouse, stating that he thinks that the case resolution for Ripple and for the SEC case is set to conclude in weeks, not months. And do our charts show us that is possible? We'll see. You'll have to tune in to the blockchain backer video that will be released in about an hour from now to find out the answer. I'll give you a little teaser. I think it's possible. First time. That's the first time I'm going to say it. I think the charts do align with it to say it's possible we do get a conclusion within a couple of weeks. Mac Twins says XRP is pumping. We're looking at different charts there, buddy. All right, let's go ahead and hop into the chat. Weeks, not months, means June 13th through June 22nd. According to your mom. Your mom, are you the guy I met in Austin? And then saw you again briefly in Vegas? He might be. I think he is. Yes, he is. All right, cool, man. Yeah, June 13th through 22nd. I don't know. Let me look at a calendar. Technically, weeks, plurality would mean the 8th. I don't know what 30 days is from right now, right? How many days are in May? 31? 25th to the 24th or something? What, from like June 8th through 24th, right? That's weeks, not months, right? Technically. Oscar says, screw it. I just went straight to the current live. I'll rewatch later. Yeah, man. Okay. Oh, there we go. And Amron Jeffrey says, I haven't made many streams this past week. I missed you guys. Congrats on getting off the BP meds, BCB. Yep. Thank you very, very much. That has been something I've quietly been working on for the last couple of years. Exercise and diet to no longer have to take blood pressure medication anymore. And I told you guys a little bit about that a couple months ago when I had to leave a stream early because I had a doctor's appointment. You all were worried, like, oh no, what's going on? Nope. It's been a project I've been working on privately for some time, and it is official. I have been completely taking off blood pressure medication. So, normally it's something I keep private, but I know that's a very common thing that people have to deal with being on blood pressure medication. Those silly doctors always tell us diet and exercise. Quit smoking, quit drinking, diet and exercise. And it's like, yeah, of course, duh. But I'm not doing that. Well, I just want to let you know I did all of those things and it did work. No more high blood pressure. after being on that medication for 12 years. Yeah, I even quit smoking and drinking over a decade ago. And it took that better diet and consistent circuit training exercise to get it down. And the thing that really triggered it was the circuit training. I went in for like a normal checkup that I normally have. I've been doing circuit training for a few months. They said, whoa, what is going on? My blood pressure was like 106 over like 58 or something. And they were like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on here? This is way too low. And it turns out that type of interval training really solved a lot of those problems. So everybody should have like interval training facilities near them. So Jeremiah says, is there any TA on BitBoys token, or is it still too young? Yeah, it's so fresh. I wouldn't know. I've definitely played with it, but I don't know. I have no confidence. It's only a couple of weeks old. But thank you, Jeremiah, and thank you, Amarin. Wigmanpool 182, Wigmanpool 182. You've been around for a long time. I see you commenting. You've been around for years. And Wigmapool 182, I would love to give a shout out to your wife, Amanda. Amanda, Wigmapool has always been here. Give that man a big fat kiss for me. I'll wait. Okay, thank you. All right. Hi, Amanda. Thank you, Wigmapool. DC says, hi, PC plan. Hi, PCP. Do you plan to short any market after ramp? Haven't decided yet, but for me to like take entries on shorts or something like that, I have to follow my specific rules, and that's just retraces. And it's just, we get back to retracement levels. It's a very clear defined area for me. I can short the 702 retracement level, and then I can set my stop loss above the 786 Fibonacci retracement level. If there's something clear like that, then I can take those shots. But I'm not the kind to just take the shot blindly in the dark. And so if a setup comes that looks really clear to me, I'll probably scream about it. I'll probably take the shot. But to say there's one currently right now, I don't think there's one right now that makes me scream, I got to go for it. But yeah, that's what I'll be looking for is, trying to shorting the very top of a parabolic move is typically how you're going to get yourself blown out, because that's also one of the reasons why the price keeps going up higher and higher and higher. You get people not only FOMO buying, but then at the same time, you have people getting blown out of their shorts as they're trying to short the very peak of the top of it. And it's very difficult to nail that pinpoint top. So when it comes to taking a short or an opposite side trade, for me, it's about at the retracement level. As we've been watching here for Bitcoin, right? So you watch to get back into the retracement level. I kept saying, if you get above 30,300, it's invalidated. 30,300, it's invalidated. But what did it do? It got right back in there and held it. So that's a clear one, right? And so for shorting, everybody's going to do it their own way, whether they're going to use Bollinger Bands or they're going to be using moving averages or really focusing on RSI, stochastic RSIs, all those different things. This is my primary go-to. And then as long as we have the confluence of the indicators saying the same thing at the same time. And so these are how I take my sell shots. Selling into retracements, stops above the tops of retracements. So if we get setups like that, I don't have a problem taking a shot at them, but I just don't see them out there in the market just yet. So thank you, DC. JB Heavy Equipment Services, Inc. How do you read the XRP longs versus shorts chart? Man, dude, that thing still updates? Is there one that's like versus each other? Or you're just looking at these ones? So like, I don't know if you can really even pay attention to these anymore. Back in the day, we used to. So the longs are at all-time lows, right? So that's good. what did I have written on there? I haven't updated this chart in so long. So this was added. So this is from Bitfinex, right? So how many people are still using Bitfinex to this day? I don't think a ton. So it's hard to rely on any of this data anymore. I don't know. I know there's other links too out there that you can look at to see where the margin is going. I don't have those links. I think TXMC has a lot of that stuff. But when you look at this, that's a good thing. Let's see how the shorts look like. Right. So what you wouldn't want to see is like, you definitely wouldn't want to see everybody piled into leverage longs right now, right? What are leverage longs at? They're at their lowest in history. So there's not like a big pile in of leverage longs happening here. Which means, are people borrowing money to buy XRP? No. Not at Bitfinex, at least. How about shorts? Shorts, you don't really get much of a difference either. So shorts are down near those lows at the same time too. So what do I think this? I think this is just a combination of not a lot of people using Bitfinex anymore. So I don't even look at this anymore, just because I think I have formulated the opinion that Bitfinex isn't really used that much anymore for leverage trading. It's probably going to be all those ones that all the affiliate links are for, like Bybit and whatever they are. I don't use leverage, ever. That's how you lose everything. But all right, thanks, DC. Sorry, I don't have any other data. I'll talk to TXMC, see if he has any good information on XRP leverage longs and shorts. I'm sorry, that was JB Heavy Equipment Services. My bad, man. Whiskey 2, like the video, keep the momentum. Tomorrow depends on what you do today. Hang in there. Man, isn't that the truth? Thank you, Whiskey. And like he says, please like the live stream. GSML, BCB, you taught me to look into the opposite direction of the news and the narrative. Thank you. I feel like the case just simply ending isn't possible, but who knows? Yeah, so I provide the counter argument quite a bit, right? Which is not what everybody wants to hear, right? Everybody wants to hear, we're going to win, it's going to be over, price is going to skyrocket and go to moon. And I think that's just because that's what people are typically fed the most. That's what they hear the most. Because as content creators, right? As a content creator, I am incentivized to get you to click on my video. I'm incentivized for you to click and watch my content. And create, like, for my channel, like, it does not provide a tremendous amount of clicks when you're kind of contradictory, when you're kind of not like, settlement inbound, OMG. We're going to moon. Price going to end. Ripple going to win. We're almost there. That's the good stuff to get the clicks. I don't do that. I provide more of my realistic take on it. And so that is what the video is going to be today. My realistic take, just based on charts and based on it. But I can promise you there will be 50 videos today saying OMG settlement inbound at Ripple going to win. I promise there will be a ton of those videos today. So that is what it is. And people will label me as saying, I think Ripple, blockchain backer thinks Ripple's going to lose. That's not true. I'm just setting everybody up to like not get clickbaited. You know what I mean? Hear the narrative from the reality, not from the incentivized viewpoint. I'm incentivized for you to click on my videos, and the best way to convince you to click on my videos is to put a rocket ship and say, settlement inbound, Ripple's going to win. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, tell you the way I think it is. So, whatever. I know how days like today go. We're going to see a ton of thumbnails saying it's over. But is it? According to all the lawyers, it might not be what you think. We'll see. We'll talk about it today. Riaz Hey Raptor, has your targets changed for Zcash, US Dash, Bitcoin Cash? Are you going to post on Twitter today? You sell like we did with Bitcoin and Ethereum? Yeah, we covered all those over a year ago. I doubt it. I doubt those are going into all-time highs. Some of those have been abandoned. Like EOS has been abandoned. Used to be we've done. You must not tune in very often. We've covered that so much. EOS has been. Zcash is the one I am optimistic on. I still own it, but at the same time, it'll be in retraces where I let go of everything. I doubt. We watched a different market dynamic in 2021 than we have through pasts. EOS was your number one, anticipated to overthrow Ethereum, even more highly rated on CoinMarketCap than Ethereum was, but then eventually got abandoned. And so we have the kind of like the developer data that we've been going through to monitor who has been growing in developers, who's been declining in developers, and has there been a correlation to those particular assets breaking out into new all-time highs. And so we watched EOS, like their Twitter like went silent in November of 2021, and just there has never been a post there ever. So it's going to be a hard fight to get a lot of liquidity probably to pour into EOS unless something crazy happens. Bitcoin Cash, what did we watch? So Bitcoin Cash is one of the kind of safety plays in regards to like the SEC. Listed over there on Robinhood, listed on PayPal, literally every single exchange. We watched money fly into Ethereum Classic, which was one of the ones on that list, but it's not on your list, but it was one of those ones. But it didn't fly into Bitcoin Cash, so it's debatable on if Bitcoin Cash is really going to get the momentum that it is, right? So what is Bitcoin Cash? Really just bigger block sizes, right? For me on those particular assets, it'd be more about just watching when the retraces come in. And like nothing changes for me on how I do things. If I sell stuff, if I'm exiting the market, I may make rotations in small plays that there's no point in me bringing it up on the YouTube channel because some people criticize every little thing that I do. But if I'm pulling money out of the market, that is something I would definitely be voicing. And just like I always do, when I say I'm buying the market, I get called a dingus. And when I sell the market, I get called a dingus. And I'm not scared of those losers who live in their basement with their mommy. They can scream all they want. They can suck it. And I will say it out loud when I'm pulling money out of the market. All right, Reese, thank you. Grumpy Old Men. You changed your name a little bit. Grumpy Old Men, Shayasteru. Did you change that a little bit? I feel like you did. You changed that last word. Hey, BCB, wouldn't a couple of weeks take it up to that part where it capitulates? Was laughing when you said people say to you, you best be right, BCB. Interesting thing that you have observed there. A couple of weeks leads to capitulation. I addressed that. Unpopular Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin. Follow fiat. You, sir, were here in 2017. That is something the crowd of 2021 doesn't know. There's a lot of what the crowd of 2021 doesn't know. People in 2017 would definitely know. There was this real massive moment where everybody thought Bitcoin Cash was the real Bitcoin. It was crazy. At what price? Thank you, GSML. You had said you taught me looking at. Wait, am I skipping stuff? I skipped whiskey too. You said at what price do we get XRP tats? All right, for real, man. I almost got one when I was in Vegas. I thought about it. I thought about it. I didn't do it though. I didn't do it. I almost got it. I'm waiting, man. I might. All right. So I think I've got everybody. So there we go. Yeah. So like, my wife did get a little tattoo when we were in Las Vegas. A little teeny tiny one, maybe the size of a penny. it's always funny because when you look at my wife, she looks like a very sweet person, which she is, um, but just looks like your typical, suburban mom. Just typical. But underneath it all, that woman is tatted. Tatted like crazy. You guys probably didn't know that. BCB's wife is super tatted. Nick Egan says, "Hey, I appreciate you, BCB. What are some of your favorite alts other than XRP, of course? Thanks for everything that you do, man." Yeah, that's a hard question to answer because just because it's my favorite doesn't mean it's the best. Like, I always publicly talk about privacy, right? And and I saw somebody else ask this on Twitter. Like, do people just care about privacy? Do people actually care about privacy? Or do they just say that they care about privacy? I think the kind of thing I'm coming to the conclusion on is that that's all it is. People say they care about privacy, but they don't care about privacy to the extent where, like, people don't protect themselves from something until something bad happens to them. Like, for example, if somebody is the victim of assault or something, maybe then they go out and get a firearm after the assault has taken place. Or their house gets robbed, then they finally say, okay, I'll go ahead and get myself a security system because now I've been the victim of one before. And I think maybe that's kind of the same aspect when it comes to privacy and money, that people kind of just go with the status quo of everything being okay. And they say they care about privacy, but probably don't care until something actually happens to them. And it's one of those kinds of situations. So they say it, but they don't really mean it until something actually happens to them. Then they finally go through and follow through with it. So I've always been in the belief of that our money has to be private and that there's absolutely zero chance that we'll use Bitcoin as our everyday money ever. Never, ever, ever, ever. Still to this day, fully believe that. But just because I find that to be important doesn't mean it's performed well. The market just doesn't seem to care about privacy. They say they do, but they don't. When it comes to other like altcoins that super passionate about, I would say there's nothing that I'm super passionate about. Just like, when you look at like the market, I mean, it clearly tells you, clearly, no matter how much you hate, the SEC or how much Ethereum has worked with the SEC, it clearly tells you Ethereum, like every single data point. So, and yeah, I know there's such tribalism, and so I have to like not cater to the tribalism in the XRP community. XRP community, I love you, but I can't cater to that because the data is just overwhelming. The number of developers on Ethereum, the deflationary supply for Ethereum, there's just literally nothing else in the cryptocurrency market when it comes to smart contracts that even remotely comes close. Like, there's just nothing. So, I mean, you can look at stuff that's up and coming and speculate that maybe it'll get there. I don't know. But Ethereum is the king of smart contracts. And it's not debatable. And unfortunately, people do invest with their principles and anger and emotions rather than looking at that data. So that data is important. Otherwise, like other things that, there's new stuff out. Will the new stuff do well? You got Optimism, which is a layer 2. That SUI network that just came out. There seems to be a lot of hype around that. I don't know. It's not that I've done enough research on that SUI network or SUI network to know, but it's gained developers very fast, and it immediately got listed on all the major exchanges when it came out a couple of weeks ago. Cardano is still seeing growth, and then Cosmos is still seeing growth. So those are interesting. I like the concept of Filecoin. I don't like their inflation. Hedera has seen a lot of growth. And then XRP is seeing growth and potentially the best narrative possible, along with completing like a full-blown accumulation schematic. So, you know, the main two that I'm like are favorites right now for me are XRP and Ethereum. Everything else kind of a shot in the dark. And I don't have a problem taking shots in the dark. I don't have a problem at all. But it's hard to say that the others are my favorites. And just looking for things that are like deviating from the market or being stronger than the market, right? There's not a tremendous amount of them. And, you know, it seems like a lot of times people are just kind of chasing the new shiny stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Just knowing that it's incredibly volatile and could come crumbling down really quick. But yeah. As for what exists out there right now, this is my main focus, like XRP, like for sure. And I know your question is altcoins besides that. There's not a whole lot other that I'm like super excited about. Like I understand how old school Bitcoiners feel when they say Bitcoin is the only one, because they've watched so much garbage come and go in this market, and I've seen it too. So much stuff that looks so promising comes and goes. But I'm just not in the camp that Bitcoin is it. I'm just not there, and that makes me hated by the Bitcoiners. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, no, I mean, things that, you know, you look at and you say, what's had developer growth and what seems to be growing? Optimism, whether or not the coin in particular has a lot, right? Like the Coinbase added that they're building on optimism for layer twos to help make it so a lot of people can develop easier, very easily. So that's intriguing. But what is that? That's also dealing with the Ethereum network, right? So more with Ethereum. Then you got the SUI network, which everybody's all pumped about. And then Cardano still has a lot of interest. Even though the price chart has just been like as boring as can be, there's still a lot of interest in Cardano still out there. And then there's still interest in Cosmos. I don't know. Those are kind of my thoughts based on just like community driven stuff, developer driven stuff. And kind of what's the new kind of stuff, like that SUI network. You know, SUI, you're brand new, right? So you're trying to find that floor of where is the floor on this thing. And it's still undetermined. But this will be an interesting one. Because one, we have no price history to go look back on. That makes it difficult to try to figure out how high is the thing going to go. Is it going to take off? But if you're not reading up on this one, this SUI coin, I have bought a little bit of it. I haven't like indulged heavily, but I've gotten some. Just because I don't know how to. One, I'm not going to be able to figure out how high it's going to go without just guessing, and two, I don't know where the floor of this thing's going to be without just guessing, because we don't have the price history to look back on it and say. But if you're looking for something new that has developed a heavy interest, it is this SUI coin. So there you go. Let's see. Somebody asked about Ergo. I don't know. So I don't have every coin on this list. I've looked at a lot of stuff. Ergo is not on my list. Sorry, I don't know the answer. Back to the chat. Matt asks, hey, BCB, do you see any confluences on the dominance chart or pairing charts? We're talking like XRP dominance, or we're talking Bitcoin dominance? Just a big consolidation range of years here for XRP dominance. We can look at Bitcoin.D and see what that thing's been doing still. Still, now what are we at? We're at almost 2 years and 1 month. This being our range. So, waiting for an answer to arrive here to see if this range is going to break up or down. Otherwise, on the dominance charts, nothing in particular. So, like, the thing you can do is you can go back at least through history and be like, hey, let's go back to what I had on there. What was that? I think I remember what that was now. There we go. No. So I remember what I was trying to do in here. I think I was trying to grab this. To make some sense out of what we have here. Because what we have is, this is not what you typically see, right? So when you have moments like this, when you have this fall, why you see so many people screaming for the Bitcoin dominance to go up is because it should have a long time ago, and it just hasn't. This is your 2017 bull run, and this is your 2018 and 2019 bear market. So you should have already had the dominance go skyrocketing back up into a retracement in a normal scenario. But it hasn't. It's gone flat. So if you're looking for confluences, you'd be saying this. That's not what happened, right? You put on log. Every expert telling you Bitcoin dominance go up, they're basing it off of this. They're basing off of what happened here in 2018, bear, which it didn't do. So we have something very different happening in here, right? That we're going sideways in here. And this has been very complicated. Even I thought, hey, we're at the verge of this thing going. And here we are back at the top of the range once again. And yet here we are. Enough time has elapsed. Take a look in here. Enough time has already elapsed that the peak of Bitcoin dominance should have already happened here if you look at the 2018 bear. So Bitcoin dominance is super head scratcher at this point. Neither one has been right because it has been ranged for 2 years. Crazy. It's crazy. And that's something we haven't seen. So if you go through and you try to say, well, did we have anything happening in here? That's what you saw that was attempting to find some confluence in there. But I think my end result was I didn't find anything too strongly correlated to say it's statistically relevant. And I only share things with you guys if I find something pretty good, and try not to force it. It's got to be pretty dang close in order for it to be interesting enough for me to share it on the channel. Okay. Thank you, Matt. Big Shroom says privacy is important. There's no fungibility without privacy. Thanks, BCB. I'm in the camp, man. You don't have to convince me. We enjoy privacy now. Bitcoin is a step backwards in regards to privacy. It's a huge step backwards. And you may say, no, it's not. The government can see what you're spending your money on. Yes, they likely can. They can get that from the banks. The banks can see where you're spending your money. But your next door neighbor can't see where you're spending your money. Some random dude on the internet can't see where you're spending your money. The scammers can't see where you're spending your money or see your account number, right? Companies like Apple and Google Facebook, Twitter. They can't see where you're spending your money and then target ads to you based on that, where you're spending your money with the current system. If we were all using public addresses and everybody everywhere could see all of our account numbers and what we're spending our money on, not just knowing the account number, but seeing exactly every transaction and where we spend all of our money, nobody thinks that'd be a problem. Nobody thinks that would be a problem. We're just cool with it. I doubt it, man. I doubt it. That is one thing of like, until privacy is solved and we all come to consensus and agreement on how we're going to solve the privacy aspect of it, we will never use cryptocurrency as money. Unless it's like so outrageously bad out there in the world that we're like, we have no choice. But it's a step backwards for sure. Gator gives 5 BCB memberships. Thank you, Gator. If the Maxis could read, they'd be very upset right now. Robert Parsons, thank you so much. He's very generous. Thank you, Gator, very generous, man. Everybody very generous. Big Shroom too. Robert Parsons says, hey, BCB, I see a few tweets you made and I love them. And I was amazed to see the crap comments from some tweeters. Clearly just haters for whatever reason. So forget the losers out there. I think you give great content. Keep it coming. Thank you very much, Robert Parsons. Yep. For every 50 absolutely amazing people there is one absolutely horrible person. And when the numbers get bigger, you eventually see 1,000 really nice things and 10 or 20 really terrible things. And it is part of this game. You get used to it to a certain extent. There's a couple of times it'll chink the armor, but for the most part, you get pretty tough skin out here to have to deal with it. But yeah, it's been like that. Maybe 3 months after I started, 2 months after I started. It was all sunshines and rainbows in the beginning, and then it doesn't take very long before the haters hate, and that's just part of the game. But thank you very much for the kind words, Robert. Appreciate it, man. And acknowledging it. Yeah, it's something that you just have to deal with, unfortunately. Pat Kai says, hey, big fella, I'm not the best at reading charts and learning as best as I can. I'm wondering if XRP is following what it has previously done. And I know you are releasing a video today, but will the outcome screw up the charts? Good question. So yeah, I'm releasing a video today covering that. So we don't know what the outcome is going to be, right? All the fancy YouTube videos are going to tell us it's going to moons. But will it? What if it doesn't, right? What if the outcome is not fancy, sunshine, rainbow, settlement, guaranteed, right? It could be mixed. So I kind of cover all those different aspects in today's video. But either way, I'm optimistic of a positive resolution eventually coming. I'm just uncertain of the path that we get there. Do we get there with a resounding victory and XRP is labeled not a security? Or do we get there with a mixed ruling and XRP is not addressed, and then we have to go into settlement or somewhat? So those are the things I kind of talk about in today's video. And I'm not going to sell you the pipe dream that they're going to win and settle in 3 weeks. That'll be every video today. That's not the pipe dream I'm going to sell you. So check it out. But in the end, just understanding, I'm excited. I like hearing that. It's progress. And it doesn't matter what the outcome of whatever the ruling is in the summary judgment for me. It's one step closer to getting to where XRP can be deemed not a security in secondary sales. And I think everybody's like hanging their hat on that has to happen in the case ruling. And based on all the lawyers out there, they're saying that it's very likely we won't get that. And so what are the steps afterwards for that to happen? And that's what I'm kind of focusing on. Maybe we do get it, but if we don't, then what? Right? So that's my thoughts. But thank you, Pat. So keep an eye out for today's video, hopefully within an hour, which means I'm going to start getting through this a little bit faster so I can get off here and get that released. Tanvir Rahman says, can you give your thoughts on Crow and XLM? Crow, that's a First of all, thank you, first timer. But I'm not gonna be able to cover these altcoins. Like, take a look at their charts right now. I always tell people, if you're really wanting me to cover altcoin charts, please don't donate. Especially like minimum donation to get your altcoins covered on the channel. Crow is that's what is that? Crypto.com's coin. I'm not really sure. I don't know what kind of hot water Crypto.com is in. I remember a couple, 6 months ago when they were trying to do the proof of reserves, Crypto.com kind of got in some hot water if they were swapping funds with Wobie or whatever they were doing. And that's just an exchange token. Stellar Lumens, I think it's just XRP's sister. It's a bunch of XRP holders holding XLM. So what have we historically seen? Is just whenever XRP goes, XLM goes with it too. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. Octane Whale, hello, Mr. Backer. Thank you for wonderful market analysis. I watch you every day for many, many years. Can we continue dumping? Thank you. Well, thank you, Octane Whale. We'll see. We're through the 100 day. Hi, Robert Barker says, hi, BCB. RNDR token seems to be outperforming the rest of the market. Does it look like it's slowing down, or is it going to new all-time high? Thanks. Say hi to BC Barker. All right, so this is one of the ones we actually did cover. I don't own this one. Let's take a look at it. This is great. So we talked about this, right? Perfect Wyckoff accumulation, perfect back tests, and stepping up to next level, right? Do we have a longer dated chart we can look at? Let's go here. Here's what I'm going to do. All right, so these are the ones that are showing initial strength in the market, right? Let's go to... this stunningly beautiful chart. This is one of the best looking ones that's working its way back up so far. Perfect Wyckoff accumulation, perfect throwback in here. So let's do this. So you can see your Wyckoff happening in here. Look at that thing of beauty. And what is this moment happening here in the Wyckoff? It is the FTX collapse. I mean, unfortunately for so many, just missing the point at that time. It was very clear what was going on in this market. And here's just your absolute beauty, RNDR. And then this pullback that happened back here in March, right? And then now kind of working its way sideways, kind of up to another level. So, it's my best guess. Probably not going to moon immediately, but it's just working its way up. So it looks great. It looks great. Just if you're wanting to get some type of like Pepe pump where things go absolutely hammering wild, that usually comes at specific phases in the market. When the liquidity is pouring into these larger caps like this. Otherwise, this thing is, that's what you look for, man. Very nice. But your question is it going to new all-time high, or is it slowing down? Right. I mean, if your expectations is we're going to new all-time high like this, I just wouldn't have that. And your question might be a time guess, which I'm not going to be able to answer your time question. You just got to look at the broader structure of it. Does it look pretty good? It looks pretty good. Depends on what your time preference is. If your time preference is 1 month and you're about to YOLO next month's rent into it, probably a bad idea. But yeah. Just, if you're looking for the trend looks good. It's been one of the best looking Wyckoff accumulation throwbacks in the market. This is one of the cleanest ones out there. Very nice. Oscar says, when XRP breaks $1, even haters will tune into markets in the morning. Oh, dude, haters watch. Don't think that haters don't watch. They definitely watch. Even the YouTube content creator haters watch. No doubt about it, dude. They think I don't notice. When the content just happens to be a little bit like mine. And they hating. Oh, I notice. Okay. All right, moving on. Remain humble. Okay. Thank you, Oscar. Gino D'Amelio, BCB, went back and watched your very first video. It was cool to see your progression over time. How do you get your channel off the ground and grow? Well, I just was, one, I mean, you got to have something to bring to the table, right? If you're just going to be another guy reading news tweets, that's a difficult market to get into. There's a lot of channels out there now that just do the news by reading other people's tweets. You got to provide something. So mine, it's not really news, right? What do? I spend a couple hours a day making videos, doing markets in the morning, right? But the other hours of the day, in order to build these theses and have these opinions, I'm just sitting around playing in charts all day long. So I bring a perspective to the market, and I try to bring a little bit of my personality at the same time. I try not to be a super, I don't even know the word, like a stick in the sand. I don't know what the term is. Just dry, It's I bring kind of an infotainment kind of personality to it all. But at the same time, trying to, while not everything is alpha, I try to bring some alpha, right? Give a little bit of edge to the market and bring like an education style to it. I never try to be like, hey, I'm a guru, so watch me, I'm a guru. If I formulate an opinion, I will back it up with all the justifications and reasons why. And so at the same time, I'm kind of teaching on my channel and teaching people how to use charts, teaching people how to use indicators, and how to find stuff and access information on their own. So it's kind of a education channel at the same time with infotainment at the same time. So it's kind of just like a unique channel. And I don't know if that's what I intended when I started. But, when I started, just like understanding what makes a successful YouTube channel. A lot of people just turn the camera on and hope that they do well. There was a reason why I don't have the camera on me 95% of the time. And it's because I just feel like I can be myself more if I don't have to, and even when I'm talking, I've got my hands flailing in the air, like I'm smiling and talking, but I don't want to have to do that on camera every day. Matter of fact, I haven't shaved in 3 days. I don't want to shave because I'm going to have some guy, some dingus be like, hey, can you at least respect us and shave? No, I'm not. And so I don't have to. So it was a conscious effort to not be on camera so I don't have to, face act. I don't have to be a face actor and have people read me. I can just be myself and say whatever. So figuring out what's right for you, what's best for you, and just bringing it. And then, there's the simple stuff too, like researching it. You can search on YouTube. You can search on Google. What are the basics that you need to do? You need to know how to put keywords in your stuff. You need to know how to create thumbnails. You need to have an intro and an outro to your channel, right? You need to know how to edit videos. A lot of times people just grab their iPhone or their Samsung and then they just start recording themselves, throw it out there and hope it's going to do well. But you're competing against people who are like actually editing videos, trying to make their videos look a little bit more professional, intros, outros, prepared content. So just kind of doing that research ahead of time of what does it take to be a successful YouTuber? What are the basics that you need? You need thumbnails, right? You need to know how to make those. You need to know how to make, titles that are relevant to your content, but also like encourage people to check it out and click on it. And you need to have intros and outros and then content in between. And so what can you, Chris TV says, no, I can't respect you with shaving. LOL. Yeah, I actually do have to shave today. So we'll see. But yeah, my advice is always Google it. YouTube search. What does it take to be a successful YouTuber? And that gives you the basics of starting. Then you find out if people actually even like you. If you at least have like the foundation laid to be successful, then you can at least find out if you're bringing content that's likable. And the thing about content that's likable or being likable is that you're going to fail a bunch in the beginning. You put out a bunch of videos, you're going to find stuff that people just do not care about. But then you're going to have something that works. And you say, whoa, wait a minute, people liked that. Why? Do I enjoy that? Let me elaborate on more on that. I like that topic. People seem to like that topic. Let me cover that topic a little bit more. People click on it and watch it again, and you kind of fall into your groove. Or things like this, markets in the morning, right? Or I didn't know if people were even going to watch this. I was like, this could be stupid, and nobody cares about it. But I got positive feedback of it. But it's not the first time I've tried things that I've like had to throw in the trash can. I've tried a lot of different stuff and thrown it in the trash can that didn't work. And you will get criticized if you don't have the skin to get criticized every day of your life. If you need a safe space at work and you run to the HR department anytime somebody says anything bad about you, you're not prepared for YouTube. You need to be prepared that you will be told that you are a piece of garbage every day of your life. So be prepared for that. If you can handle that and ignore that, then hey, go for it. Gino, thank you. Yeah, we'll come a long way, huh? The first one. Hi, guys. This is the blockchain backer breaking you crypto news and analysis. Jump forward to 2023. Hey! All right. Rob G. BCB, if Ripple loses the case in order to scare retail out, I don't think it'll be in order to scare retail out. It just would scare retail out. Wouldn't you believe XLM would have a nice run up, just like how? Man, that's such far speculation, Rob. I couldn't even guess on that, brother. I'm not gonna take a shot at that one, dude. It's totally speculative of like unmeasurable proportions. Do that voice. Sorry, Rob, man. That's just my honest opinion. I would have no clue how to answer that question, my man. Oscar, what is it? Is that an ear? Those ears, BCB, tell them not to forget. Hit the like button. I know, we had to have a moment of silence to get to 650 yesterday. I don't want to do that. Oh, man, I got to wrap up this stream pretty soon, guys. All right, hit the like button. We're having a moment of silence. 650, then we get back on it. You're going way too slow, guys. All right, there we go. Thank you, guys. It's the number one rule of live streaming that you do not allow silence. I don't care. It's like the number one rule. Dead air is the worst. It's in radio. It's in live streaming. You never do it. It's how you just like absolutely get your audience to fall off. Those 50 likes were important to me. Thank you, Oscar. Zoltan, Vokuya. I probably slaughtered that. He even says, everyone hit the likes. Any thoughts on Upstart stock? I don't know, man. I've never looked at it before. It would be a total dingus thing. I can't pull it up right now, my dude. Don't know, man, Zoltan. But thank you for the support and telling everybody to hit the likes. I agree with that. Bully Assassin, can you please make TA on Veracity? Sorry, man. Bully Assassin, I can't, man. I don't know what that is. I appreciate the support, but I have never even heard of that thing before. And there's going to be 100 people out there saying, how have you never heard of that, BCP? Look, there's a million things out there. I bet I know stuff that you don't know about. But I don't know what that is. But thank you, Bully. Texas Takeover. They hate us because they ain't us. Ain't that the truth? They hate us because they ain't us. Let's see if I can get it like that. They hate us because they ain't us. All right. Thank you, Texas Takeover. JR589, BCB, good morning from your friend JR. Ignore the noise and keep the grind. Much love. Thank you, JR. JR, you're on Twitter, right, man? I got you, dude. Thanks, brother. Dr. Ty. Will when XRP moon before or after when frog merch? We will find out after BCB gets his life together. Here we go. I'm working on it. Yesterday, I made progress in getting my life together. I'm pretty excited. Yep. Pretty excited. If you don't know, that's just to get the course completed, to then get the merch done. But we have to get, the course has to get done first. And that's just been a silly long process for me. So we made a little bit step. We got kind of like stuck at a phase and kind of got through that part yesterday. So okay. And then Big Shroom also follows that up by also saying they ain't us because they hate us. Yes, that's true. That's true. But then they're going to all wish they were us. So, okay. Why are we looking at the 1 month bond? 1 month bill? Who cares? Bitcoin. Still waiting on you. Are you gonna dip a little bit lower? We're still waiting on you. XRP still just treading along there at 45 cents. The big news out there today, of course, is at that event, Brad Garlinghouse says the conclusion of the case is weeks away, not months away. Got everybody excited. I've already recorded a video. I'm gonna hop off this live stream so I can go get that finished edited. It is almost done. It's like a 17-minute video. I've recorded 14 minutes of the video. I only have 3 minutes remaining. Export, upload, live, gone. We're almost there. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate your support as always. The positivity in the chat, positive messages in the super chats too. You guys are a fantastic group. Hard to put into words the appreciation, and I hope you can understand that the positive comments mean a lot because those negative ones do come, and those positives offset that. So I really appreciate you guys tuning in. One quick more peek at the stock market. What is the stock market doing? Nasdaq still up 220 points. S&P up 17, down 93. So totally mixed out there, right? And that's what we talked about a lot. That's why I talk about the Dow so much, not the S&P and the NASDAQ, because I get asked those all the time. It's that Dow. Okay, that's it. Bitcoin sitting below the 100-day moving average, just chilling right there. And keep an eye out for a video that I'll be releasing within the next hour. Otherwise, I'm wrapping this thing up. Happy Thursday, guys. Tomorrow's Friday. Friday. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this live stream and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor. Throwback to 2019, blockchain bagger. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.